What up YouTube? Welcome back to another video, you know what I'm saying? And in this video, we're gonna go more into Kamala Harris, and I explained this random compilation. It says Kamala Harris explained in 7 moments. If you're not aware and informed of the next presidency, it's the most important one in our American history. Because I don't know if you guys been aware what's been going on lately. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Inflation went through the roof. As a southern border immigration crisis going on. A lot of wars taking place. You know what I'm saying? And we just want peace. We want to reunite and make us great again. And pretty much just build from this and move forward instead of backwards. You know what I'm saying? And from Joe Biden administration, Kamala Harris being his vice president, pretty much she was in the White House as well, doing all these policies and different laws he was making. It definitely tore this country apart, and it went downhill from there. Those 4 years was definitely tragic, and now if you work a regular job, it's not enough now to even support yourself. So now you need at least 2 jobs, even 3 jobs to even get above the bills and stuff. It's pretty critical now. So we're gonna watch this random compilation about her. I haven't watched this yet, so we about to check it out right now. But me personally, Kamala cannot be our next president. You know what I'm saying? She's a detriment to our society, and she will destroy this country in just a couple months. Forget 4 years, bro. So she's already done so. Since she haven't done anything in the 4 years as she was vice president of Joe Biden. So Joe Biden's not even running in the race of presidency. So who's really the president right now? You know what I'm saying? So it's all like propaganda. It's all an agenda. So you just gotta be aware of what's going on with this. I know a lot of people don't like talking about political stuff, but when it comes to seeing where our future of our country is heading to, and then it gets more deeper than what you think. You know what I'm saying? Because this impacts everybody, even yourself and your family. So it's good to be aware instead of not aware of what's going on. So yeah, I just want to keep y'all informed because I've been doing a little bit of research on it, and I've been peeping stuff. So I want to keep y'all informed as well. You know what I'm saying, on what's been going on and shit. And it's pretty crazy stuff, guys. So definitely be aware. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you train every day. Make sure you carry a firearm or keep it in your house. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely wicked times we're living in. So it's very important to protect you and your family at all costs, because these people are out and about and they're criminals, and they're coming for the children as well. So it's definitely a lot of evil, wicked agendas going on. So just gotta pray and just be as close with God as possible, especially nowadays, because they're trying to steer us away from that. Even our morals, trying to steer us away of what's the right genders now. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of stuff. I'll get more deep into it, but we're just gonna watch this video, guys. Enough talking. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos to come. But yeah, let's watch this video, guys.
38-year-old Kamala Harris was swept into office as San Francisco's district attorney, and as she did, she made history.
For too long, we've asked these very simplistic questions about criminal justice policy that offer only 2 choices. Either you're soft on crime or you're tough on crime. And instead, I suggest we should be smart on crime.
What was smart about the Smart on Crime campaign? You're telling the progressives, I'm not just going to throw everybody in jail. You're telling people who want, more of a tough on crime approach that, I still believe in this. She was prosecutor coming out of the tough on crime 90s.
At a time when American drug policy was incredibly punitive. The idea was that tough on crime isn't working. What we need is the numbers rather than the emotions that are driving a lot of our policing.
Let's build metrics into our measure of how effective we have been with our criminal justice system.
The metrics by which she judges her success. As prosecutor, it's the numbers, the cases that you won.
I did an analysis of who our homicide victims were who were under the age of 25 when they were killed. And I learned that 94% of them were high school dropouts. Perhaps untraditional for me to ask the question, but I did.
She was raised primarily by a single immigrant mother who was a scientist. It's kind of what can you prove, not what do you feel.
Nobody is looking to their DA for soaring speeches about the future of democracy.
But I also think that women, in order to be taken seriously, particularly in politics, you do have to show that you have a command of the facts, the figures, the numbers, that you're not emotional.
And so that aspect of national...
Because if you do your decision making based on emotion, obviously it's not the most logical, you know what I'm saying, decision, because you base it on how you feel, not on the overall, you know, objective of what you're deciding, you know what I'm saying? So it's very crucial that you don't let your emotions dictate your decisions, especially on, you know, this future of this country. Definitely is can be a tragedy.
Politics has not come very easily to her.
Kamala Harris, a candidate for California's Attorney General.
Your opponent, Ron Gold, has said that he is for...
Another thing that I hate that she does, she laughs at nothing, bro. Like, just laughs. Like, it'd be nothing funny. It should be the only one laughing. Like,
for the legalization of marijuana recreationally. Your thoughts on that?
That he is entitled to his opinion.
It was very difficult to pin her down about what she thought about things.
Kamala Harris's stance on teacher tenure is not entirely clear.
She would try to say, you know, I'm a prosecutor, I have to remain neutral about these things, I really shouldn't take a position.
I have many clients in that matter, so I cannot talk with you about what we're doing in terms of the case.
Very seldom is she like first on an issue, right? She kind of like checks out the temperature first, sees how others around her are kind of reacting, and then she jumps in.
I want to be very well informed about exactly where it's going and what the potential of my opinion would be before I just express something off the cuff.
She also enters public life at a time.
bro, she looks crazy. Look at her, bro. But like she just got out of bed, bro. Like she just woke up, bruh. And another thing I noticed too, I don't know if y'all been noticing these pearl earrings. For some reason, usually when she's mostly in interviews, she mostly wear these. And she makes, I'm pretty sure, like millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way she has one pair of earrings that every interview she's at. So I find that a little bit suspicious. You know what I'm saying? It's the little small details. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. Wild stuff. And I gotta show you something after this video as well of what happened. She did one of her speeches and the teleprompter shut off. So I'm gonna show you that video too. It was pretty interesting.
And we really didn't see any women of color in prominent positions in elected life.
It was a different time in a largely white political system. She had those ambitions from, I think, a very young age to make it in politics, to be highly successful, to make, lives better for people. But I think she also knew that as a woman of color in positions that had always been held by white people, she wasn't always going to be the one who was out on the front edge. She's not a trailblazer in a policy sense.
California's Attorney General Kamala Harris announced that she will indeed run for the U.S. Senate.
Our new U.S. Senator, Kamala Harris!
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm happy to answer a more specific question. But
that the government has the power to make a decision about a man's body?
I thought you were asking about medical procedures that are unique to men.
I'll repeat the question. Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
What kind of question is that?
I'm not thinking of any right now, Senator.
Kamala Harris really thrives as a politician, and this makes sense in the context of her background when she is the one asking the questions.
They have not asked me to open an investigation, but...
Perhaps they've suggested?
I don't know. I wouldn't say suggest.
Hinted?
I don't know.
Inferred? You don't know. Okay. In your March 24th summary, you wrote that, quote, after reviewing the special counsel's final report...
But I will say that no one...
Sir, I'm asking a question.
What a lot of Americans saw was a senator who just seemed exciting, who seemed willing to hold these men accountable, not let them kind of worm their way out of the questions she was asking.
That was really important for Kamala Harris when she served in the Judiciary Committee. She knew how to turn conversations into really serious examinations and cross-examinations of the folks who were brought before the committee. Almost like a perfect recipe there for her to introduce a version of herself to folks who who might not know her outside of California.
I do want you to be honest.
I'm not able to be rushed this fast. It makes me nervous.
I think the fact that those clips went viral shows that there's an appetite, right? She is positioning herself as America's advocate.
You had donors, just busting down her door after that saying you need to run for president.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States.
Her campaign announcement in Oakland, I think there were 20,000 people there. It was just sort of insane. Expectations have become so high for her after those moments.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record.
The 2020 primary happened in a political moment where the energy on the left and among progressives was very strong.
The 2020 campaign was when her background as a prosecutor was really a liability.
She tried to reposition herself as a progressive prosecutor because that was sort of the hot fad, and it never quite fit.
I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I would never have described Kamala Harris as a progressive. She called herself the top cop in San Francisco, and then later when she was elected Attorney General, she used those language.
Her career sort of predated this idea of what a progressive prosecutor is.
She really had trouble packaging her background in law enforcement as palatable to the base. What you saw often was a candidate who just seemed to be trying to say what she thought would catch fire with the base at that point.
Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? All right.
A lot of Democratic voters didn't feel they were engaging with a candidate who maybe actually believed that. And people walked away not entirely sure what she believed.
She ran out of money and she struggled to break through.
Although I am no longer running for president, I will do everything in my power to defeat Donald Trump and fight for the future of our country.
Joe Biden is
That's a joke.
officially the Democratic Party nominee for president.
And I commit that I will, in fact...
What future? What is the future of this country? Look at where it's heading. What future?
Pick a
it's a
woman
joke,
to
bro.
be vice president.
Post-summer 2020, we were in this George Floyd moment.
Biden was talking about passing the torch eventually to a new generation of leaders. And the idea that he would be picking a black woman, somebody who was younger than he was, suggested that he would be picking essentially an heir to the Democratic Party.
I have no doubt that I picked the right person to join me as the next vice president of the United States of America, and that's Senator Kamala Harris.
This guy was obviously a puppet, bro. He was a puppet.
And the road
for real.
ahead will not be easy, but America is ready. And so are Joe and I.
The first year and a half of her vice presidency, not great, to put it mildly.
We've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
She was given the assignment of leading diplomatic efforts with Mexico and some Central American countries to address root causes of migration to the southern border.
This is a no-win issue, especially early in a vice presidency. What Kamala Harris is going to solve El Salvador?
Do not come.
To the extent that there are even metrics to determine one's success in this role, they're probably not going to become clear for another decade at best.
She was definitely becoming a team player for the Biden administration, but she was also kind of turning her back on a lot of her previous platform as a child of immigrants, but also as someone who'd been a huge champion of immigration policy and immigration reform.
And she is interviewed by Lester Holt.
One of the first major media interviews that she gave, really introducing herself to a lot of Americans for the first time. Very basic and anticipated questions, such as, have you yourself been to the border yet? She could not seem to give a straight answer.
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point.
In the aftermath of that, there were not a lot of major media appearances for her. That one interview became sort of the anchor that a lot of Americans had when it came to, what do you know about this person?
The difference, obviously, between now and 2020 is the Dobbs decision.
The moment where the Kamala Harris that voters are seeing right now really started to come into being was in 2022 when the Dobbs decision leaked.
The woman's right to abortion has been overturned and will lead to nearly total bans on the procedure in about half the states.
The significance of that is profound. in terms of what it means for the rights of individuals, and in particular for the right of an individual to make decisions about their own body and not have their government tell them what to do.
Through my reporting, what I found was that she was...
But y'all literally did that with COVID. Y'all trying to force people to take vaccines, bro. During COVID-19 hit.
Virtually the only major official in Washington who understood the salience of that issue. Suddenly, she sees for herself a role in this administration, being the spokesperson for the Biden White House on the issue of abortion. It's something that is very sincere to her beliefs.
This is about people having the freedom to make the decision that is in their own best interest.
I think that was hugely essential for her growth as a politician and just trusting her own instincts.
In America, freedom is not to be given. It is ours by right.
Now we're seeing her in more comfortable settings, especially in the last year, college tours, small businesses, talking about economic opportunity and loan cancellation, climate, and it's those kinds of forums where she really does shine.
We are not going back.
The speech that she gave in Wisconsin was really interesting, where she almost stumbles into a new rallying cry for the campaign. The folks who were in that high school auditorium latched on to that line and started chanting it back to her. And she realizes in the moment that she has stumbled upon a new phrase. It is specific enough to resonate with people. It's general enough to not necessarily have to define it too carefully. That kind of describes not just her campaign, not just this moment, but can describe a little bit of just how spoiled and rotten the vibes were in the country before Biden dropped out, because it's an opportunity for a lot of folks to be re-inspired and reawakened.
The word authenticity is often so fraught with racial and sexist undertones, but you look at the rallies, the talks that she's doing right now, this is a person who's having fun.
The most important thing I love you back.
That ease and confidence with which she is currently carrying herself is reflective of someone who knows that the story of her career basically is not a net negative for her.
I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
You've seen her kind of embrace her biography as a person, as a woman of color, and she's realized that her personal story is actually powerful and it helps her relate to people, it helps voters relate to her.
She's a complex woman who has complex ideas and is very cautious, steady, not going to rock the boat a whole lot, and down the middle, a consensus person.
I'll tell you, on the subject of my mother, and I keep saying this, but it's true, she said, just since we were young, you may be the first to do many things, but make sure you're not the last.
Really quickly, before you go, we have something we're excited to tell you about. Vox has launched a membership program. It's
interesting. I don't know, guys. It's just, me personally, I definitely don't see her as a presidency. She's doing a lot of things that they won't show us in social media alone. Social media alone is a propaganda machine. It's an agenda machine. It only shows certain visions for you to see. It don't show you the whole truth. Obviously, they hide the truth from us. Usually on Twitter, obviously, it's a free speech platform, and you know what I'm saying. Mostly be on there and it shows you the uncut, the raw stuff that they don't really show you on social media platforms that are controlled by the government. So. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, guys. She usually contradicts herself, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna show y'all one thing. Okay, so in this video, it shows that when the teleprompter went out, she kept repeating herself. She literally had nothing else to say, but just keep repeating the same thing. You know what I'm saying? No logical thought, no inspirational words, nothing that's gonna help us grow as a country. Just keep saying the same thing over again. 32 days. Like, it's unbelievable.
Remember his number? 32. Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days. And we know we will do it. This is going to be a very tight race until the very end. This is going to be a very tight race until the very end. We are the underdog, and we know we have some hard work ahead. Remember his number, 32.
What does she mean that we're the underdog? We have some hard work ahead. Like, man, it irritates me that she's trying to become our president, but yet she's doing everything possible to destroy this country. And it's like, man, when they became, the Joe Biden administration, when Joe Biden himself became president, this country hasn't evolved at all. We just literally repeating history. We're going backwards. People don't understand what their true gender is. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? What kind of hard work is ahead for us if people don't know what their own gender is? Like, it doesn't make any sense. She's obviously, it's not logical at all. So yeah, guys, I just want to tell you a little bit about Kamala Harris, my point of view on her, my opinions. Let me know in the comments if I have a different opinion about her. You know what I'm saying? For me, personally, I see from Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, he's about the people. He almost got assassinated twice. So by both times, because God is by his side. God is good. Amen. And yeah, he's gonna turn this country around, you know what I'm saying, and make it better for the people. You know what I'm saying? Clearly she got a different motive, a different agenda. And it's clear as day, she can't answer simple questions at interviews. You know what I'm saying? Basic questions that most Americans want an answer for, and she can't even answer it. That should show you a lot about how she is, and you know what I'm saying, the type of person she really is. She can't really answer a simple question. She beats around the question and tries to distract us from the question. You know what I'm saying? It's just clear as day. So, you know what I'm saying? It's very disappointing. You know what I'm saying? We came to this point. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we just gotta keep building, being strong. You know what I'm saying? And keep reaching our goals another day. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's good to be informed of what's actually going on with our country itself. And yeah, just, you know what I'm saying, stay posted, stay updated. Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning into this video. I know it was a long one, but I just want to keep you a little bit informed what's going on and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. So look forward for another video coming. I'm saying, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Jworld, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.